What's up, parents? How are you guys doing? I wanted to do a quick little video because I have been surprised by the number of questions that I've gotten from your kids about the afterlife, some of it dealing with heaven and hell, some of it dealing with where certain characters in the Bible are going or have gone, some dealing with sort of a general fear and anxiety about being separated from family members. And I'm wondering if that has to do with the way that we, in a sort of the collective American church, we talk about issues of faith. I know that I have a very churched background. I went to private Christian school, and I remember early on in my education learning about the fall of Lucifer and learning about hell in pretty vivid imagery. I don't think it wasn't malicious. It was just sort of the teaching of the time, and we were exposed to it. And very quickly, faith became for me this issue of, oh, I should do this, or if I don't, then these consequences will happen. And I'm wondering if we might be better off as parents and teachers and instructors, mentors, whoever's watching this and whatever relationships you have, when we talk about Jesus, to make Jesus compelling. I don't think that that's a distortion of the evidence. I mean, I think Jesus is actually compelling. I don't think that faith was reduced to, hey guys, follow me so that when you die, this can happen, as opposed to this other really terrible thing. And I'm wondering if we can sort of frame the gospel as good news for right now, namely that restoration is happening, that redemption has taken place, is taking place, that the kingdom of God has been revealed and is here, and that we get to participate in that. Like, we get to be agents who work restoration on the earth. The acts that we do matter, not in the sense of determining our eternal fate, but they have significance because they can be things that allow us to partner with God's great work. To me, that is something that sells, and I don't even want to frame it that way, as if we're trying to manipulate our kids into believing something. It's a better story that way. Like, Jesus has changed the entire scope of human history, and he's calling people to follow him and to live this sacrificial love and putting others before ourselves and taking risks for people on the margins and the outskirts and the people that have sort of been excluded. Like, those are practical things that can happen in a third grade classroom. And I'm wondering if that might be something that frames the gospel in a more positive way, so that when we talk to our kids about Jesus, it's not fear-mongering, but it's a compelling invitation that we get to be the people that God is using to do his work on earth as it is in heaven. So, I don't know. I assume that your kids will continue to have questions about the afterlife. It's super interesting for one. It's super intriguing for another. I'm absolutely not thinking that any of you are framing the gospel in this sort of distorted way, but I do wonder if the way that we talk to our kids to sort of correct that thinking could be helpful for them, and maybe reduce some of the anxiety that they might have about what happens next. Instead, we can refocus that question and think more about what's happening now and how we get to experience life through Jesus, and we get to be engaged participants in the great work that God is doing. So I don't know. These are some late night musings from me, but I know I probably would have received that more beneficially as a kid and maybe been a little bit less traumatized in the process. So I commend it to you.